audio. Yes, ma'am, we can hear you, but please, but just a second. Please, guys, everybody on the platform, please, let's make tweets with Nigerians did not vote Tinubu. It's important to thread that hashtag while we are having these conversations. Let us be trending it that Nigerians did not vote Tinubu, and we'll be trending it all through the weekend into next week. Madam Aisha, good evening, and you have the space. You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Well done, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, if it's night, wherever anyone is calling out from. And to say to everybody, it's been interesting listening. I've had to come in and go off a bit. Uh, for me, I don't know anybody. Me, I'm extremely happy and I'm very hopeful and I'm very joyful because the impossible was done. And today, where we are today, I can tell you, it's something that we never expected that in the next 6 years we'll be here. And here we are. Few years ago, maybe like 2 years ago, if you had said APC and PDP are not the option, there are a lot of people that will want to kill you. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if you had said the office of the citizen is the highest office in the land, there are a lot of people that will want to kill you. But guess what is happening now? Citizens are the ones who have taken ownership of the office of the citizen. Citizens are the ones who are saying it is who they decide that is the option, not who the party decides. So for me, that's amazing. I think one of the things that people are forgetting is that what they did. And I'm glad the other person who said, Tinubu should be called a criminal, is it a lord, he said, a drug lord, and not a strategist. Right from day one, I see when people are talking about strategy, I'm thinking, I'm looking, where is this strategy? People spent over three decades. Some of them have been there for over 6 decades doing all of this election thing. Imagine what happened when citizens decided in 10 months, see what they did. And so because there's one obstacle along the way, people are sitting down saying, this one, that one, are you okay? What nonsense sense of entitlement is that? Also, because you decided to come and in 10 months, everything should go your own way, piaka. Now, so life be. It's a war that is out here. There are going to be a lot of battles. And sometimes you have obstacles. So your business is to bulldoze through that obstacle. Where we are today, I mean, because many do not understand. I would give you an example. And I'm sure Maureen Kabrik is here. I think it was 2018 that we were going around Nigeria shouting red card. Red card movement was going around. People looked at us and called us mad people. We were actually mad. But what happened? There are many who didn't believe. You sit and you see people talking. Today, it is citizens that are saying red card to everyone that is not competent. And we don't see the value in that. Judiciary. And I'm glad there was a speaker who said there was never any time that somebody said trust in judiciary. Is it romance? Is any of you looking for a love affair? What's your business with trusting judiciary? Your business is to overwhelm the judiciary with evidence. Your business is to know that your eyes are on them. Your business is for them to know that it's no longer business as usual. It's not business unusual. Your business is for them to know that before we didn't care because it's none of our business. When either we chose between two evil, who is the lesser evil? Some did that in 2015, some did that in 2019. And we realized that lesser evil, when it gets into power, it becomes monstrous evil. And there were some of us who said, no, never again, even 2019. That was like, Lord, people stayed away from the polls. Some people went, we're still on. 2023, people said, no, they won't do that, this thing. They will choose who is the most competent. And that's what citizens did. So we are not here to either in a way to trust. I said, hey, I'm getting depressed. I'm getting tired. I'm losing hope. You're there for peace under the hope. Which hope did there again? We already were. I said, look, we went down. I kept shouting in this corner. I said, look, we don't need activists. People are looking for activists. You don't need activists. What we need are active citizens. And the active citizens are rising. I just see the difference. See this judiciary, everybody has turned lawyer. There's a tweet I saw which was very so apt. And I'll try and paraphrase it the way it was. This person said, "Oh, Peter Obi came and he made everyone. How did they put it? Peter Obi came and he made everyone an INEC official. Everybody was doing registration, registering new voters and all of that. They became INEC officials. The next thing, you know, people became politicians. We were all campaigning, and then we became what? We became collation officers. Everybody was putting together the results. From collation officers, so we now became lawyers. And then somebody, Kenneth Okonkwo, now added that we even became journalists. That's what happens when citizens decide that they will. This country, Nigeria, where we get, nobody own that Nigeria, and all of us get hand. The only thing they've always had is this illusion of power to make you believe that they have power. They have nothing. More Aisha Yusufu. If I wanted to rig the election, if I was the one as APC candidate and I wanted to rig election, why will I go and be changing 201 to 20? Then I will be joining the one to join the zero, and you now have a very fat zero and a small two. Then I'll go and be doing the words. I'll be using tippers to clean it. That means I'll be all there. More Aisha Yusufu, if I decide that I'm going to go criminal and steal election, you know what? I will produce duplicate results and put as soon as they write now, we don't write them for us. As soon as they will upload clean sheet with signature and everything. But they don't have that intelligence. They just sit down and kill people. They just sit down. They will just shoot people, kill people, and then they are coming to tell me strategy. Which nonsense strategy with the attacker? Tinubu has. It's a lie. They are afraid. You know what they're doing.
Let's all move.
And I like what Dr. Olu just said, and which is just the fact. They are preparing for another election. They know they don't have. You know when you steal, you steal so that you leave evidence. You go steal fish. Come unfortunately, come they carry the pot come they leak. You want steal fish, you come carry the pot. The pot, you know, come they arrive say they leak. You come they drop soup, they follow you go your room. As they come out that day, now they come see the thing, come they follow you go your room. Now there then day. Why you see say they're no happy? How many of on a normal day? Let me tell you, when election is, everybody is sharing results. How many of these people will be say whether na APC, even the PDP man said themselves. Now, me I dey tell you, the last time I come now here, I said me I know they do violence, so then I may be violence. I don't send anybody, Papa. We die here. I was born to die. Who they fear death? They say we want keep person. The death is different from the container where they fall for person head. These old people, how many of them did you see them sharing their results? Because they had no result to share. They were sharing these votes. They were packing. APC was packing there. They were not. Yeah, they became together. This one will carry on join for this one. Me wanna take this one. In places like Adama and Co, they will not pack. Okay, give PDP this one. That one carry give this thing. So once upon a time, they say we couldn't win Lagos. Ama they rig, no rig. We still win the Lagos, even with the rigging. Doesn't that tell you something? And you are sitting down saying, I'm depressed. How dare you? Depressed. I've said this thing before and I'll say it again. The result is not your business. You and I, we should not focus on the result. We don't have control over the result. You know what we have control over? Our effort. And that's what you should focus on. Wake up in the morning and say, what I did yesterday, if what you did yesterday is still looking big to you, then you are not doing enough. It was Jim Rom that said it. Oh, you know this movement. I put so amount of this, but go and sit down. And the people that are killing you are not sleeping. You don't have any business closing your eyes. It's as simple as that. People are saying, I'm tired. I'm tired of what? Good must be as tenacious as evil. Buhari spent 12 years running every time for you to give this disastrous leadership. And then you, because you put 10 months, you are not feeling that. Now. What have we done? Nothing. Every day I wake up, I've not done anything. Me in my mind, I'm already okay. Is it rerun? Okay, but what do we do? Because those are some of the things that are happening now. Judiciary. If they were so sure of the judiciary, you won't be seeing conspiracy theory coming out. They are coming out to say that Patutomi, this one. Oh, I heard that I ate $50 million dollars out of the campaign money that Tinubu brought. Omo.
Mommy, you know, send my own. No, maybe I can send you my Zelle number.
I beg go. When I send account number, maybe begin share.
All of us for violent space, they say they put us for hotel. Now that hotel bill, now they go use now. At least we now hotel, we don't day
Oh,
since
now
four
hotel they
people
put
in a hotel.
it's a different thing. And some come out say they me I go buy gold. I'm like even when my CB so this first come out say I buy land. Me I dey build house sell. I dey build house rent. I know they buy gold now lands I dey buy. But you see what this tells you is that they know they didn't win election. They know they left a lot of evidence. Up till now, they have not been able to find joy and celebrate their stealing, their robbery, because it is not yet, and we will not legitimize it. Tinubu can never and will never be my president. No matter how much you steal, it will never be legalized. And the people of Nigeria are the ones with the power to say to him, you will never be a president. You might be sworn in, People at May 29. Some people, if May 29 happens, I will be the. What is May 29? We will change the date now. It's even a good thing so that presidency will be happening on its own. Anambra election, it used to be May 29, it will be sworn in. What now happened when it was not sworn in? It was because somebody changed it. And so May 29, he goes there. I say people, oh, if he enters, he will have immunity. Which nonsense immunity? Immunity will not mean that what these people are the tribunal cases, the election cases, we can't have immunity on it. Because it's a measure matter that is still being decided.
Mama, if Tinubu was so powerful, Oyetola would still be governor of Osun today, despite what
Ex-
the Supreme Court said.
Duh.
Tinubu told us he's richer than Osun State. And his
Exactly.
boy, Oyetola, from what we heard, is his cousin. But Oyetola Adeleke is there today. So
Exactly.
he's not that powerful.
So it's like
Thank
I
you.
said earlier, it's illusion they give. So they make you fear. You can say, hey, if he enter, which guy Tinubu? Let it be Tinubu. I better not drop that thing. All of us, no, I dey tell you, I been saying this, none of us is alive in Nigeria. We are all dead. So they know they keep us away, they already die. The only thing we say, they feel say you know feel breathing oxygen, feel breathe anything, but we dey here. You understand? Is that fear, that illusion of fear? Some people say, oh, if he becomes president, he controls judicial. What judiciary will he control? There's no control he's going to have that if he does not already there. The people that control judiciary are the Nigerian people. It's just that because all of this time, it used to be now them. After winning, nobody will care. And I've said this thing before, and I'm going to repeat this thing here that we as citizens, it's not the result that is our problem. It's the fact that the process was not allowed to be and there was rigging. If in all honesty, because those were part of the things that when we're doing our scenario, we put on the table. If in all honesty, Nigerians had voted for Tinubu and the rest, would have all moved now. Who would care about petition? But Nigerians did not vote for Tinubu. Tinubu did not win the election. Nigerians knew who they wanted to vote for, and I see some people that will come. All those people that want to show this, whether I should call it passionately ignorant or they are clever by half. They will not come and say that, how can you say Peter Obi won when he didn't win? How many senators? How many districts they were on the same day? Governor Umar, he gave that answer. Because me, I dey carry person wey answer something, I go carry him answer. Governor Umahi said he didn't know that there was a conspiracy even in his own family. His own family members decided they were going to vote for Peter Obi for presidency and then do the rest for him and his party. That was what happened in Nigeria. People decided that, look, they were going to vote a candidate, not a party. And some people are coming to say, oh, Labour Party. What is Labour Party? Who cares about Labour Party? Labour Party was a vehicle. Peter Obi was like an independent candidate who had to run through a party because the Nigerian constitution does not recognize independent candidacy. And it was a vehicle. Who was in love with any Labour Party? And it's normal for parties, for all of these politicians. And they all have people in all the parties. It's normal now. Even you, if you want to do something like that, you will not put people everywhere. If you guys remember, I did a thread to say in a movement, everybody is needed. I said part of the last list I said we were moles. In a movement, you think we don't have moles in all their accounts too. It's normal. They will put moles in your own. But you know the level of information and you know how to weed things out. Because there are levels, there are some information where we say no be past two people we know. It gets what we say now 3 people know. It gets what we say they will put everybody. That's how it works. So all of these parties, they all have people there. This is what they're trying to say. Oh, Labour Party, it was sustainable that tells somebody to counter. Person will not get like the third person will go counter for another person. You can't talk when they talk there. Oh, this one, so that you know what they are trying to gauge to make you believe that it wasn't all this power that you saw. It wasn't really Peter Obi and the people and obedient movement and Nigerian citizens that did it. It was actually Tinubu coming from a lie. Tinubu they look for where one gate made them say get power, you not get anything. That's why the other time, even some religion is ascribing some messages to religious rulers and all of that. So it's a mind game that is being played. It's a psychological game that is being played. And so you don't have business for that. The business that we should have is to focus on that judiciary. In terms of protest, look, let me tell you people something. As long, and I've been saying this thing again, I'll repeat it too. Me, I repeat myself a lot. As long as everybody is not inconsequential in the movement, there is no movement. This movement is not about one of the things that I hated was even the name obedient movement. And I think the first thing I wrote was that even the first I said the only person that is going to be obedient is Peter Obi. Because it cities the sorry, I hope you can hear me. Call just came in. The office of the citizen,
Yeah, go on
okay,
now.
the office of the citizen is the highest office in the land. So nobody is going to be obedient to anybody. Now, when the PO himself enter, he would be obedient. Waiting. And so for me, that was the name. So it's not that, Peter Obi is the head of any movement. No. Peter Obi is a beneficiary of people's anger at the corrupt politicians. And he was able to be a beneficiary with his consistency in his character, in the things he did, and in the fact that all the years he had been consistently working for the people of Nigeria. Simple as ABCD. Who is here to like Peter Obi's face? Who is here to like his whatever? Nobody. But because of that, his consistency, because of that, his character, because of that father, that was why people say, okay, this is a person. And that was why even, if on all of these things, I say PDP people are running up, and I said it I said PDP is the most useless party that has been on the face of any world. And anybody can argue with me. I know they miss word for that one. 2015 election was PDP's to win. They threw it away. 2019 election was PDP's to win. They threw it away. 2023 election was PDP's to win. They threw it away again. And the only thing they say, thank God, because I would have ended up saying, vote because if they had fielded Peter Obi, I would have ended up saying, vote PDP for Peter Obi, vote Peter Obi in PDP. Then they will not be taking my tweet where I used to say red card to APC and PDP and say, sure you say red card. Even if Peter Obi had run on APC, Aisha Yusufa would have still said, vote for Peter Obi of APC. Because for me, it was candidate. They were the same. And I've kept maintaining those two parties are the same. And I've said the same before, and I'm going to repeat, just to take us back a bit. All these parties, they have competent candidates, but they don't fill them. In 2021, when I did it, I think it was August, when I did a long thread for PDP, part of the things I said for them was, look, you need to read the room. You need to fill people like Peter Obi and Frank Weke Jr. and retire people like, what's his name, Atiku and as Bukola Saraki. And they refused to do that. People were yearning for them. They refused to. So all these things, they are not coming to tell us that Tinubu was the one in labor bringing in Patutomis. Patutomi is a Nigerian who he all the circle, he knows them. When in this thing, people that fought for Abacha, people that did it, they were all together. So there's no quarrel in it or whatever. But now they are not coming to try and admit that, oh, they are the ones who made him, they get this money. It's a lie. Tinubu don't see say, foul they had they take him. Foul nyash don't blow, nothing did there. Now he's looking to ascribe powers to himself that he never had. And that's what he has done all this time. And then people will not be afraid of him. People will think an illusion. There's no illusion anyway. There's nothing. It was citizens who decided they were going to do something with Peter Obi, and they made it work. And who are these citizens? You, all of us. Didn't they tell us that we will come a distant third? Didn't they tell us that we will not win anything? Didn't they tell us that Peter Obi will not get anywhere? So how all of a sudden Tinubu was the one sponsoring us when they said we were going to not get anything? When people were saying Lagos, didn't they say no? All they're doing right now is trying to ascribe powers to themselves, already preparing for defeat at the tribunals, and just putting this thing to say, okay, in case this asks for a rerun, let's begin to smear this thing. They are still in campaign mode. So for me, I will end up here by trying to say, look, for every one of us, we'll be ingrates. And I'm calling myself included, Aisha Yusufu, myself included. We will be ingrates if we do not look and appreciate the amazing thing that we have collectively been able to do. How many people have gotten to the National Assembly that ordinarily would not have gotten there? How many governors were trying to go to the National Assembly that, oh, you all stopped? How many people that would never had hope in Nigeria that you gave hope to? But now, what did they do now? 70-year-olds were going to register for the first time because you gave them hope. People who are in their 80s were registering to vote for the first time. And then you are ascribing that power to somebody that could not even give power to himself. Somebody that had to steal, that had to crudely be changing vote, somebody that had to bring people to kill people, somebody that had to bring people, the Agberos to come see. You know, the most difficult thing to do, strategy to do, is to use the one of brain. If to say now to carry a gun or to say, oh, let's all go anyhow, let's go against the law. You still say those people feel stand us, but no. We will never be the things that we fight. We will never be the things we want to change. We will use our brain. And the next thing that we do is to form that strategy against their violence. And we will get it within the ambit of the law. So don't come and tell me about some strategy that Tinubu has. Tinubu has zero strategy. The only strategy he has is violence, is killing, is looting, is maiming, it's robbery. And that will never be the strategy that we will take. A new Nigeria has been bettered. I tell you what is happening to now. If you had told me it will happen in the next 6 years, we would have been happy. So don't you dare sit down and forget what you've achieved just because, oh, the war has not been won. And then you forget all the battles that you won. And then because, oh, some few battles have been taken away. No. As we're talking about this tribunal, who is the person that is most experienced here? Peter Obi. Peter Obi was going to court for over 3 years. Even his wife, when she said about it, she said she Kukuma just left him and said, "Okay, you dey mad, or they do your thing yourself." The guy stand there gidigba. And then you dey talk because he just started tribunal, how many this thing ago. As for protest, there is nobody that was born to protest on behalf of anybody. When you want, reach that street, go and do it. And there is no one way of getting any result. That's the mistake we make. And I hate it when people say, oh, if it's not only this way, then it can't happen. And I saw somebody say, I told you people to go and protest. Why didn't you go? You don't get head. Now two head the rest of us get. You don't get head, you don't get leg, you don't get hand, take right for paper, go stand for them, and other people follow you. You see that day, I told you people to go and protest. So since you people did not protest, you've lost it. Now we have to work towards 2027. We are working towards 2027 already. We are working on this thing. We are focused on the judiciary. Every one of them. If any judge cough, we supposed to know say how the cough been a dry one or been a wet one. If any judge enter toilet, you supposed to know say na tissue in use have been a water, I be combined boots. That's what we are saying when we say eye on the judiciary. And I think one of the things that needs to happen now again, apart from telling everyone, look, Tinubu, like I repeat, will never be my president. I should, I said, they pay me. I went off a call. I had to call with. I said, you don't they pay me, say, I know they Niger. But I had to be here because this program I was supposed to do during the election. I called this, I said, oh, I know if you come here to study democracy when democracy they happen. So I can't ask for them to leave this now. But the day where, and some people say they are going to stay away if Tinubu wins, now in Papa country, I've been in own Nigeria. As I they enter, not my president, he can never be my president. Not my president Tinubu. He can never. He stole it and that must remain so. So it's not only one way towards getting an answer. There are multiple ways and they all have to be deployed. For those, some people have been protesting, amazing. Keep doing that if that this thing. What is it? Peter will be to come and tell us to protest or not to protest. It's not his own. His own will be to say, I'm going. If he wants to protest, say, I'm on the protest. I'm going to be there. And then it will be for people to say they want to join, not to say no. Because you see, let me tell you something. The obedient movement is not about anybody. The obedient movement is a voting bloc that every party will end up being afraid of. To say, if we don't bring somebody who is competent, these people will know what they will do. And it is not us, it's not any one person that has control. Nobody can ever have control over it. And nobody can see the end of it. This is something that should be here for the next 50 years. So that our children's children, grandchildren's grandchildren will be saying yes. So that 100 years from now, some people will say, there were some people who called themselves obedient to, they were the ones that set this course on Nigeria on the right course. So you're thinking that but it's okay. And one of the things everybody must understand, and I'll bring back our grass movement to this, because that's the way we used to, it's a free entry, free exit movement. Anytime that anybody is tired, move and go. Anytime that anybody wants to join, welcome. And the person that joined today and the person that coined the name obedient, everybody, equal level, now everybody do. Nobody do owe anybody here. That's what I've always said. I love it when I don't have any role to play. My own is just sit there and be laughing and be say, more. I don't have to tweet it because there are thousands of Nigerians who are tweeting it. And it started fine. I know a lot of people don't want to connect obedient movement with NSAS because people are afraid they will say, let them say. When they put label on you, you see that thing that happened during that protest where it was decentralized, no leadership. I said there's no horizontal leadership. Everybody was a leader. That was what came here. People could now organize. Organize and do your own thing. Let there be this thing. Don't wait for anybody. Come on. If yes, some people are protesting, you feel that it's 1 million people on the streets. Fine and good. Why don't you go ahead with 1 million people? Some people are already working on what's the thing. Okay, if scenario, if they say a rerun, what are the things we have on ground? What are so that we ensure that everybody comes out? How are we mitigating the violence so that if there's going to be a rerun, they will use what they deployed in March 18 because that's the only thing they know how to do and deploy it. So different ways. That's the way it should be. But I'll round up by saying that the power belongs to the people. I told them in 2020, they messed with the wrong generation. And they have seen it. They messed with the wrong generation. Our parents were enslaved. We were also enslaved. But you see the children where we born. Nobody fit enslave them. Say who your papa name be, that one keep am for your house. And that's what is happening right now. And then let me tell you, every one of you, go back home, sit down and count those people. And you see all those people where they're voting through this Labour Party and all of them, put eye on them. Say any of them do anyhow, they go see anyhow. You go return. Even if we call, no, they go return. Right now, as we are fighting for that presidency, we should be thinking all of the things that need to be done. Where are the party agents? Can we begin to put together a database of people that are going to act as party agents? We're not just going to depend on one Labour Party or whatever party it is. You understand? Can we begin to, as we talk now, all of now, if we say, if rerun is happening today, how many of us go stand for our polling unit say now we go be party agent for PO and ensure we collect that paper? That's one. Can we now begin to look at, is there any rerun coming up, all of this legislative arm of government? How many people are we putting? If election is coming in Sokoto, who is that person that is most competent that we can put in there? And all of us go put that effort there, carry them. Oh, election is happening in Edo. Who is that person? Gubernatorial election is happening in Edo. Who is that person that we know we can ensure that gets it? All of these things, especially that legislative, so that they will wake up one day. Even PO, when he be president, you go say we don't the laws don't they change, we go fit. I trust and say he even want to change the laws for good, for the betterment of Nigeria. So let me not take up too much of the time, but it's just to say to everyone here, you guys are my heroes. Nigerian youth, you guys are my heroes. 2020, I sat down on the floor in Abuja while NSAS protest was going on. And for the first time, I didn't need to do anything. I saw Nigerian youth standing and doing. And what happened? The Nigerian government that is a terrorist government, decided to kill them. And when they killed them, the politicians mocked them and said, go and change us. They threw down a gauntlet and you guys picked it up and you said you would do it. With nothing. With no experience in their in the words of Peter Obi, their experience of their structure of corruption and everything. Did they not tell you don't have structure? Who can they run around? Who now had structure? And you did everything. When you were doing those million-man marches, they were mocking you. When you were doing, to the extent the whole minister didn't know that obedient people were doing a mock voting and teaching people how to vote. He even tweeted it and thought that it was during election. That's how dumb they were. They didn't see with the things that were happening. But you did all of those things. You went out of the box. They told you you couldn't. And you said, watch me. And you did it. And you dare say you're losing hope, you're feeling tired. That means you're not appreciative of all the things that you yourself did. You have to know what you did. And you have forever changed the politics of this nation. And what they want to do with all this nonsense they're doing is to get people to a place where people will say, we will give up. And I'll give you an example. Anyone that says they are giving up on Nigeria today will not. You know what? In 20 years, we are going to come here. It's like losing weight. When you get too big. And I'm one person that always fight my weight all the time. You not say, I'm not doing it again. I won't go to gym. I'll just be eating anyhow. You will still come back and go to that gym. So on this note, giving up is not an option. There's no option giving up. We dey here and this matter we go fight until the last. Tinubu say win the election. May come sit down there now. ó gbà lọ́gbàgà ọlẹ́rìí ọ̀nù gbàlà ọ̀la ní tọ́sẹ̀ ọ̀wà ọ̀mẹ̀mà sẹ́fẹ̀nà kíáyé ọ̀pá rìpíàwọ̀. That bone, it eat fish, the bone dey in neck. And whether he like or not, he go vomit that bone come out. Awe no le lo, on awe lo get a lo query. That same leg wey take enter, that same leg he go take and come out. Holola mi on eminara. O wa lo eminara wa kilito. O to eminara. O re gbe ya piawo. O re dire kaya. Ya ni lo gbe piawo gena harama. Ogena harama. Enira se ni ale la mi somilo o somilo. Ola mi somilo tutu. O de egbelo. O neto egbe manali. Ola agwele ngola agweluta. Ola neto lola zo bori abolo. Ore chalari. I said, now you go fit. You know, say some things now for your own language where you go speak up. Now the enter. Dan hakin da kare na shi ke tsone maka ido. Mutumin da ya zauna ya yi sata ya ɗauka. To sai ya cewa abin da ya ɗauka ba nashi bane ba. Kuma dole sai ya amayo ta. Dole sai ya amayo ta. Ta pajama panjam. Ta pajama panjam Najeriya ɗin na kowa ne. Suna ganin akwai wasu mutane da suka zauna a kansu za su yi abin da suka ga dama. To yau mun waye gari akwai 'yan Najeriya, matasan Najeriya sun tashi. Babu wanda ya isa. Babu aka ce aljani ya ce gaba da gabanta. To sun tako abin da ya fi karfinsu. Da suna yi sun mamaye iyayenmu, sun mamaye mu, to 'ya'yanmu ba su isa su mamaye su ba. Muna nan ba gudu ba tsoro ba ja da baya. Nigeria gaba ɗaya namu ne. And anybody wey think say this country wey we dey call am Naija like this, so say na dem get am, na dem own, na dem never see nothing. When we born children, we born the ones. We no born my, we no born last, we born lions. The suffering where they make us suffer for this country. I vote 1993. Now be the first time where I fit vote. I vote finish, they collect my vote, they steal am. I no vote again. The thing paid me for almost 10 years. You see, as we dey here, so no, this generation wey be say my pikin fit vote, now they want come steal again. I no mumu like that if I just sit down and not do anything. They no get power. That leg, wetin people say you want to enter, so now that same leg, now you go take run come. You no go see sleep for afternoon, you no go see am for night. Now ye body go pepper all those blood, all those people where they speak their boy go dey on their head. But why we they do that one? We go do our own. We know they spill blood. We know they keep person. Now brain, now we go use. Now that brain where they no get all this. How we say people know they agree to election because they tell us say it's dirty. The pata we go enter. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys all, Nigerian youth, you are my heroes. I say it all the time and I say it again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing what we couldn't do. Thank you for doing that we thought was impossible. Thank you for staying on. Thank you for going out of the box. Thank you for coming together. Thank you for leaving out your differences. Thank you for standing for Nigeria. And guess what? The mandate where there's still, they must return it. The people's mandate must get to the person the people voted for. Thank you and God bless you.
My God.
Wow. Wow.
Oh
I'm like,
goodness, I'm
Power
just
packed.
oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Aisha. Thank you. You know, when I was planning for this space, when we were planning space earlier on, and I was like thinking, how do we do this? How do we do this? Knowing fully well how much how